Just because we're at 50 or 60 doesn't mean to say we have to wear browns and neutral makeup all the time. Your brown eyeshadows, your neutral eyeshadows, they're great for learning makeup because generally they're a little bit more forgiving. But as we age, we tend to lose colour from our face. So adding more colour, both in the face and particularly with our eye makeup, can really brighten and freshen your look. So today I am going to be doing a full face makeup and I'm going to be doing it with colour. There are only 2 places that I am using a brown product, and that's almost unavoidable. So let's get going. So all I've got at the moment is full skin preparation, and I've also got a good thick layer of SPF simply because I'm going out later. So I'm going to keep this makeup on. I'm starting off with my under eye balm. This is by Rock. It's a beautiful consistency. It's a bit like lip balm, but this creates a really beautiful base for your under eye colour corrector or under eye concealer. I'm next going to apply my primer because this needs some time to absorb into the skin. So there's also a timing element going on here. My primer, this is my good old faithful, my Maybelline Grippy Primer. 1, 2, 3, 4 drops there. And what's important with the primer is we're tapping it on. This is not something you massage into your skin. This is a layer that goes on top of the skin. But if you see, I'm just avoiding that under eye area because we've already got that balm on it. My under eye balm now has had a minute to settle down. So now we can go into, first and foremost, I'm going to do under eye colour correction. I'm colour correcting before I conceal because they do different jobs. Because I feel I've got sort of darker shadows under my eyes look a little bit more sunken, they're going a little bit deeper as I mature. I want to lift them, I want to brighten them, I want to bring them forward. For that, I'm using a colour corrector. The one I'm going for is my Huda Beauty. This one's called Cherry Blossom, and it's just a really lovely sort of pinky peach colour, and that's a great neutraliser. We don't actually need too much, but I'm going to put 3 dots down, 3 dots down. And because I've also got a little bit of discoloration in the outer corners of my eyes. All these things we notice when we look into the mirror. So I've got that little bit of discoloration. I'm taking the colour corrector up at the corners of my eyes. Now, I prefer to tap this in at this moment in time with my ring fingers. My fingers are warm, and it's that warmth that's really going to help it blend into the skin, and that disperses it with a far more even coverage. Because I've got the Rock under eye balm into the skin, it's impossible for it to cake. It really is a fantastic product. I'm tapping it into the skin first of all, and once I feel I've got that sort of covered there, I can then just move out with my fingers, which gently disperses it, so I'm not going right under the lash line. Then tap the outer corners of the eyes, and that just covers any discoloration there. Colour corrector done, I can now move on to concealer. The one I'm using is my Bella Mianta, and I love this because it's a really light coverage. What we want to stop doing as we age is applying a sort of one thick coat to try and cover everything up, because what you're actually doing is enhancing the exact problem that you're trying to correct. You want lighter products that both neutralise the skin colour and also deflect light and diffuse the problem. If you put something on that's far too heavy, all you're doing is caking the wrinkles and fine lines. It's going to cake. I'm starting off by putting this on the back of my hand. This allows it to soften because of the warmth of my skin, and I'm also able to take a brush, really mix that into the brush, and then using the brush, I can very gently tap this over this under eye area. You're still being very careful that you're not taking it underneath the lash line. The skin directly under your lash line is the thinnest and most delicate skin. If we start applying heavy products onto there, you're just enhancing the fine lines. You're almost sort of you're just making them worse. We also don't want to go down to the cheekbones. So we've got that under eye there. I'll just do one eye first of all, and then you can see. Fingers again are fantastic because of the warmth. Once you've tapped it in, you are going to have some residual product on your fingers. Your fingers are still warm, so it's still pliable. That's when we can take it underneath the eye. We're very gently just moving it along. Now there's no caking, no creasing there. A lot of that is down to the Rock Under Eye Balm. It's a fantastic product. The reason why I place it with the brush, or should I say the reason I use the brush, is because I can place it. So you know exactly where it's going, and then your fingers, all they do is distribute it. The under eye concealer, that will look better once it's been set, but we're not going to do that yet because we need to finish more of the base on the face next. When we're doing the face, what we want to think about to try and keep a younger, fresher, brighter look and a better skin texture is not layering too many products. So what I'm not doing is starting with the foundation. What I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to do my contour, and then I'm going to do my blusher, and I'm going to do the foundation around it. Let me show you what I do. This is the Pixie On The Glow Bronze. This is called Beach Glow, and it's a really great, I would say, skin bronzer and also a contour stick. I love this because it's a rich, creamy product, so it blends into your skin. And that's another thing you'll see today. I'm using a lot more cream products. Cream products are a lot more nourishing to the skin, whereas powder products tend to dehydrate the skin. And of course, what we're looking for as we mature is a far more supple skin texture. So I'm taking this, and the bronzer is going literally on the edge of my cheekbone, and I'm lifting it up. So there's nothing else on my skin. So this is almost the one layer we want on the skin. So it's not going on top of foundation, which would be 2 layers. Take a little bit round the areas of my forehead. That's because it's almost a sun-kissed look, and that's where the sun would hit my skin. Next, I'm using a brush to blend that in. And the reason why this method is good is we're not piling on lots of makeup. I have said this before, if you're using contour and you do have light hair, blonde or greying hairs, do be careful brushing it into the hairline because you end up with a bit of an orange cast around your hairline, and we don't want that. The blush I'm using today, this one's by e.l.f. The colour is called Plum Intended. And it's quite, we're going to add colour to the face. This is the whole purpose of it. Oh, by the way, I did say at the start, didn't I? There were going to be 2 brown products today. That's the first of my 2 brown products. Okay, so I'm allowed 2 today. So this one here is called Plum Intended, and it really is a lovely plummy shade. Now, I've made the mistake with this before when I first used it. I think I put too much on and it didn't blend in perfectly. The product is fantastic, but I didn't apply it very well. So I'm taking this just over the cheekbone, but I'm not applying half as much as I did last time. And it really does need blending very, very well. And you'll see it's almost a stippling action as well with the brush. I'm using the same brush, which is fine. But there, we just have a lovely fresh glow to our cheeks. And the next thing we're going to do is our foundation. When I talk about these layers, that is now one layer on the skin. So the foundation is going to go round it, rather than having the foundation underneath those, and you're putting your contour and your concealer on top, which means 2 layers. The more layers you have, the more aging it is. So I'm going to apply my foundation and I'm going to go around it. The foundation I'm using today, this is L'Oreal True Match Nude. This colour is 4-5 in medium, which is good for my skin tone. So again, you find the right shade for your skin tone. And what's great about the L'Oreal range is they have such a broad spectrum of colours that you can choose from. This I like because it's a light, fine, serum-based foundation. What that means, we're not covering or enhancing your natural skin. It's allowing your skin to come through. And again, as we're maturing, keep saying that, don't we? What we don't want is to be covering and creating a mask on our face. What we need to be doing is enhancing our features and allowing our natural skin to come through. If you want to look younger, you want to look fresher, you want lighter products, more products is only going to age you. So I'm applying the foundation with the Damp Beauty Blender today. Let me just put some of this on the back of my hand. So dabbing that with the sponge, really getting it worked into the sponge. Okay, and then we can dab this into the skin. But if you'll see, I'm not going to place it where I have my layer of contour or blusher. But I'm not going close up to the eye. I would say if there's one part of your makeup that you really spend your time on, in proportion to everything else, it's your foundation. Get your foundation right and your face looks great. Get your foundation wrong. It doesn't matter how amazing your eyes and your lips are. People just notice that your foundation's not right. Once we've got the base done, we can now go setting underneath the eyes. This is another Huda Beauty product. Again, Cherry Blossom. And this is a pink setting powder. The reason I love it being pink is the fact it's an extra layer to neutralise any discoloration under the eyes. I'm going to be using today a brush, a very soft brush. Take some of the powder, Tap the powder off, excess always comes off. Now open your eyes wide. Don't put it on squinting into a mirror, because if you have the fine lines, you're setting the fine lines, okay, rather than smoother skin. So try and open your eyes as wide as you possibly can. Looks a bit freaky. If necessary, just use your fingers just to help support that skin, because what we need to do is have taut skin. And of course, we're going on that outer edge as well. So we're setting that under eye area. Hopefully you're able to see in the mirror that that does look better once it's been set. Now we're going to move on to eyes. I'm going to start off with my eyebrows, the dreaded eyebrows, because if we make any mistakes, we can tidy them up before we've got our eyeshadow on. If we apply our eyeshadow, then we do eyebrows, they're not quite right. Tidying up the eyebrows, you're going to be moving your eyeshadow. So start off with your eyebrows first. I'm using my Laminator Brow Pen. This is by L'Oreal. And the reason being, it's a double-pronged pen and it's long-lasting. Takes a little bit of skill and practice to get it right. But if you can nail it, I think it gives the most lifelike, hair-like strokes. So we need to very, very lightly and very, very gently, if I can do this, I'm going to make bigger strokes than what I need because I can tidy up. Cotton wool bud with a little bit of remover, and this is where you can go around. And what's great is you now shape the area that you want. Whatever eyebrow pencil or pen you use, still go over with the spoolie afterwards, because it will still tidy them up, and it also softens whatever you've applied, because we don't want it to look too painted or drawn on. Next, we need to create a nice even base on the eyes, particularly if we're going to be putting colour on there. We need a neutral base to work on. This is by MAC Cosmetics. It's called the MAC Paint Pot, and the colour I've got today, this is called Painterly. It's a very natural, neutral colour, okay? This is a base, so we don't see this, or this just neutralise whatever's on the eyes. So if I do one first of all, and then we can see the difference. And the reason we do the eyebrows first is we can now get a lovely line, tidy up all of that brow bone. So we should see on there that that eye now looks a bit brighter, a bit wider, a bit more open, but this is simply the base. This is not the colour we're going to be seeing. I'll just do the other eye. Now we can move on to the actual eyeshadow itself. I'm going to be using eyeshadow pencils. The reason being is they're a softer, waxier, creamier consistency. Powders do have a time and a place, but they're not as forgiving as creams on the skin. Therefore, I'm only going to be using pencils. I'm going to be going for more your lilac-y, sort of pinkies colours today. The first one I'm going to be using, now this is by L'Oreal. It's called Eyeshadow Stick. It's a very soft, pinky lilac-y colour. Let's just apply this over the eyelid. The next one again is the Eyeshadow Stick. This one is a sort of more of a plummy, purpley colour. Now we're going to be using a 3-colour principle. We have the lightest colour going over the lid, that's your base. What this is doing is creating contour and depth. And then I'm going to be using the 3rd pencil to create some colour. So this is just contour and depth. So I'm using this over the brow bone as I look directly into the mirror. It's a bit of a deep plummy sort of purpley colour. Using my angled brush, with the angled going down, we're softening this, okay? We're not trying to move across the eye. We like it where it is, we just need to blend the edges. What that does, it just gives a little bit of depth to the eyes. Now this is where I'm adding the real colour. This is a Maybelline, it's called a Summer Tattoo, and it's a nice lilac-y sort of purpley colour. We're taking this almost where we had that contour, but just slightly over the top. So this is going to blend out, but really lighten and freshen those eyes. We almost need that sort of deepy plummy colour underneath, because what that does is give that depth. This goes straight on top of the skin, we don't have that depth underneath. So now we're starting to see colour coming into the eyes. The next thing I'm going to do is use my eyeliner. Now this is a plummy colour eyeliner. This is actually a Victoria Beckham, one of her Kajal liners, but it's a lovely deep sort of purpley plum. You can get plummy colours in most ranges. You know, there are other people that do them, so you don't have to get the Victoria Beckham, but I just love the consistency of this because it's really soft. And I'm taking this along the top of my eyelid. But I'm going to go in about halfway. I'm using my trusty little toilet tissue. This is a palette and it's just got some purpley eyeshadows in it. Can you see the purples in there? So I'm using the purple shadow to set the cream eyeliner. Just taking a little bit of the purple shadow on there. And this will create a lovely little purple glow across the eye. Taking that same purple liner, the under area of my eye, same principle again. Using the purple shadow, I'm softening. So we've got some depth, we've got some contour, but we've also got some colour. I'll just do the other eye. The reason I like these sort of purples and the lilac colours is they do tend to work with most eye colours and also most hair colours and skin tones as well. If you've got white or grey hair, the purples really work beautifully. But I want to add now a little bit more definition. Let's just take it a little bit more glamorous, should we say. This is a Kosas palette of a sort of gold highlighter powder. It's called Haloed. You can see the product there. It's got a little bit of sheen to it. And it's a really subtle but lovely highlighter for the eyes. Just take a little bit on my brush, closing my eyes. I'm just going to take that up the middle of the eye. Now, as the light hits that, it is going to open the eye. The other one. And as the light reflects on that, it just lifts the eye. What you can do, if you want to be really adventurous, is just line underneath the brow, again with the gold. A very thin line underneath the brow, and as the light hits that, what it will do is lift your brow bone, lift your eyebrow, and that will really raise your eyebrow. We're getting there, aren't we? Before I do anything else, I'm going to be going over with my Pixie setting spray. This is just to make sure this lasts. I've got a full day out today. I'm going to a festival today, hence you can see a little bit more time taken with the makeup. This will just ensure it lasts all day. Ah, lovely and fresh. Before I do my mascara, while that's drying on my skin, let's do my lips. As always, we line our lips. Not only will it create shape and definition, it will also make sure your lipstick lasts longer. We need to get it equal. And that's why I sort of work from the middle and then I'm working outwards when I'm just defining my lips. Then you'll notice I'm filling the lips in. That means your lipstick's going to last. I only bought this yesterday. I saw this and it was by the checkout and I went, oh, that actually looks nice. It's a Vaseline lip stain, lip plumping gloss. I think they have 3 colours. I think there was a reddy, this is a plummy colour. I'll put all the links for you. But I came home, tried it. It's very dark, but what it did do was actually stain my lips. It's got an applicator like so. It's supposed to be plum, but because it stained my lips, it gave great depth. And then on top of it, I can apply the actual colour that I want and need. So what you do need is a lip brush. While that's drying on my lips, I'm not going to blot that off because it's a lip stain, so I want to keep it on the lips, don't we? While that's blotting off there, let's apply some mascara. And because we're going for colour on the eyes, of course, I've got my Sky High, my lovely plummy purple mascara. Just taking my pink powder again, a little tab over the brows and the eyes, just to make sure it's all lovely and set. We've got the setting spray on for the face. So that will set your makeup on your face. And what I want to do is keep that healthy glow, that sheen coming through. So I'm not going to apply powder on my cheeks because that's what I want some light reflection. A little bit of a gold. Lip pencil in the middle of my lips. Complements perfectly to the purple. And there we've got, not only is it a lovely fresh makeup, we've got colour on our face. And isn't it nice just to get some colour on every now and then? All the products should be linked for you. So if I've not named the colour, you will find it by simply looking in the description box. If you want to find it, you do that. Watch the whole video. Now get all your makeup out and ready, and you can go back to the beginning and you can watch it again and you can do this together. Take time, practice. That's what it's all about. It's taking time to practice. I really hope you found it useful. Don't forget my free download. That is still available. I've got more downloads coming, but my free download, the 12 makeup mistakes that age you, get that now. It's a great place to start if you want to find out what little things are making your makeup look not quite look right. If you have found this video useful and you've enjoyed watching as well, these two videos here are great follow-up videos for you to watch. If you haven't yet subscribed, it really would be a massive help if you'd click subscribe, like and share this video. I really would appreciate it. Thank you so much again for watching. Do take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.